Hello, welcome to part 2 of my book haul. I did explain it in my part 1 of the book haul because I came back to BookTube in September. I bought loads of books this year though. I bought a hell of a lot. My TBR has grown ridiculously big, which I do love, but I haven't shown any of the books. Well, I have shown some of the books, which is actually bringing me to my next point. I'm even wearing a Christmas t-shirt. I'm not a big Christmassy person, so this is my sort of version of Christmas, I suppose. But anyway, so in part 2 I've got 20 books that I bought in just the month of April and May. And my rule for these book hauls is that I don't talk about the books that I've already mentioned in one of my previous videos. So it's not necessarily the reflection of all the books I bought in those 2 months or previous months. It's just the books that I haven't talked about at all. And I just wanted to do this video because it just doesn't feel right to not talk about the books that I've bought this year so far. And I have just come to a realization that I'll have at least, I think, 3 more parts to this. So I'm not going to be able to film them all before the end of the year, unfortunately. So I'm just going to have to carry them over into next year at the beginning. Hopefully in January I will be done with it, maybe even February. Depends on how things go, because I do still want to talk about them. And yeah, so in no particular order I'm going to start talking about them, because I bought them a while ago. Also, I don't remember half of what they're about, so sometimes I'm going to have to read the blurbs, but I'll try not to. So yeah, 20 books. Welcome to part 2. Let's get started. I'm just going to start with the smallest by size. I bought it in a charity shop when I was shopping with my friend, actually. A lot of these are from a book shopping with my best friend. At one point we went and bought loads. So the first book I want to talk about is Night Walker by Jocelyn Drake. And it looks like one of those old-fashioned, sort of your classic cheap YA fantasy, which actually is exactly what drew me in, because I do like, it reminded me of like the Vampire Academy, which I did really enjoy when I read it back in the day quite a few years ago. And it just looks like one of those. There's like a graveyard background and there's a guy. I don't remember what this book is about, so let's read the blurb. She rules the night. For centuries, Mira has been a night walker, an unstoppable enforcer for a mysterious organization that manipulates earth-shaking events from the darkest shadows. But elemental mastery over fire sets her apart from others of her night-prowling breed, and may be all that prevents her doom. The foe she now faces is human, the vampire hunter called Danos, who has already destroyed so many undead. For Mira, time has come to hunt or be hunted. So it sounds like a vampire-ish story, and I'm actually looking forward to it at some point. Again, like happened in the previous book haul, when I'm reading the blurbs of all of these books, I'm actually so excited about reading all of them, and I wish I could just start all of them at the same time, which is impossible, but I feel like I really want to. So I'm excited for this one, and hopefully I enjoy it. Then I've got a book that I believe was a blind date with a book, so I didn't know what it was going to be about. I just picked it up on a slight, like, vague description, and turns out to be That Night by Gillian McAllister. I have got, I think, at least 1 book by the author, maybe 2 now, on my Kindle as well, which, by the way, I will do a Kindle version of this book haul as well. That'll be my last part, I think. Maybe. But anyway, the books by this author just sound so good. They sound really fascinating and really interesting. So I was not disappointed that this is the book that was chosen for me. So I haven't read anything by this author, by the way, but just all of the books that I have seen just sound amazing. Let's read the blurb again. During a family holiday in Italy, Kathy receives an urgent call from her sister. There has been an accident. Franny hit a man with her car and he's dead. Overcome with terror, Franny fears years in a foreign jail away from her child. She asks for Kathy's help. It wasn't Franny's fault, not really. She'd cover for Kathy. Will Kathy do the same for her? But when the police come calling, the lies start, and the 2 sisters begin to doubt their trust in one another. What really happened that night? Who is lying to who? And who will be the first to crack? Do you know what? Again, that just sounds super interesting. I wish I could start this book right now. I won't, because I'm in the middle of 2 books and 1 audiobook currently. But it just proves that I want to read all of these books so badly. But yes, this one sounds interesting. I'm intrigued, very intrigued. Crime fiction is my like thriller crime fiction is my favorite genre, so this will be a good one, hopefully. Next one is The Cat and the City by Nick Bradley. So this one is more of a wholesome one, as what I would expect. And this one is literally about a cat who is walking in Tokyo and enters lives of these different people. One is a homeless man, one is a person who's just afraid to leave the house, a convenience store worker, and I guess their lives maybe somehow come together with each other, or they learn things. Do you know what I mean? It just sounds like one of those types of books, and I love books about cats or involving cats in any way or form, so I am hoping it's going to be a good one. The font is tiny. Oh my god, there's quite a lot of footnotes as well. But still, it sounds good. I know there's a sequel as well, but I'm not buying the sequel until I read this one. Next one was heavily inspired by my trip to Paris in May. And this is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. But also it's got a second one in there as well. Mrs. Harris Goes to New York. And at the time that I bought it, I didn't realise they were written quite a while ago, in like 1958. So I didn't realise that. But because it's set in Paris and we've got this lady who just goes to Paris because she, I guess, is bored with her current life and is going to be an adventure, it sounds like fun. I don't know what to expect because I've never heard of this book before, never heard anyone talk about this book before, or even the second one. But again, Paris setting, sounds like it could be a nice sort of contemporary-ish book. Next one is slightly damaged, but it is The Blackbird by Tim, and I can't see the surname because of the bloody sticker. Oh, there we go. That's coming off almost. Why did I never bother getting the sticker off with this book? I always do. Tim Weaver is the author of this book. I am going to read you the blurb because it sounds absolutely fascinating. So, second after CCTV footage captures Kate and Aidan Gascoigne driving home, their car suddenly plunges off the road into a ravine and explodes. When fire crews arrive, they find something impossible. The car is empty. Kate and Aidan have vanished. David Raker is an expert in solving missing person cases, but as he links their disappearance to an unsolved 40-year-old murder, he doesn't realise just how deep the secrets go, or how close he's getting to the one person who knows the truth. Again, sounds absolutely fascinating to me. I like this sort of genre, and hopefully it's going to be really thrillery and full of twists and turns. Speaking of murder, I have a non-fiction book, and that is true crime case book Murder: History's Most Infamous Cases and the People Who Solved Them. It was in the works, and they always have like interesting books and they are a lot cheaper. This one has got loads of different photographs, different bits from real cases, which fascinates me. I do want to get more into like true crime non-fiction, and this just sounds interesting. It's quite short as well, so it'll be just interesting and fascinating to look through it at some point. Then I've got a completely different genre, but I do like keeping my tastes eclectic. So I've got Restless Dolly Maunder by Kate Grenville, and this looks like a general fiction, I would say, or like, I don't know what genre that would be, but this was nominated, at least shortlisted, for Women's Prize in Fiction 2024. This book follows Dolly, who is a married woman, and this is set, by the way, in 1920s, I want to say? 19th century even. Yeah, 19th century. So she's got a family and children, husband and children, but she never felt like she was quite like everybody else. So she wants more from life and she wants to live her life like she wants to. She pushes boundaries of what is proper and what a wife and mother ought to do. It sounds really interesting and it's quite a small one, so I'm really intrigued by this one. This is not usually the genre that I would read, but currently I'm more of in a contemporary mood, so this would have been perfect. But again, I'm not going to start yet another new book. I'm going to be sensible. But again, just talking about these books makes me want to read them all, which is a good thing. Anyway, another one I'm pretty sure was another one of those, and the one after that is from Blind Date with a Book, again when I was shopping with my best friend. So it is A Bitter Remedy by Alice Hawkins, and again it looks like a historical setting. We've got this undergraduate Sydney who is found dead at his lodgings, and the medical examination reveals some shocking findings, and the young man's guardian blames the college for his death. So the person, like Jesus College fellow with a secret to hide, is forced to act. So I think this person, Basil, and somebody else are just basically trying to see what the hell happened, trying to solve the murder and whatnot. It sounds a little bit on the religious side, which I'm not a fan of. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to think about this one. Hopefully it's not a big part of the story. Oh my goodness, look at this font. It's absolutely tiny. But anyway, I'm going to give it a go because I do enjoy historical setting and it's another murder mystery. So hopefully it's going to be a good one. Next one is The Perfect Husband by Danielle Ramsey. Oh my god, why are they all so reflective? This book follows the main character called... Oh, okay, we don't have the name because it's from her point of view, but she basically marries this guy who seems to be absolutely perfect. He's lovely, it's like a dream come true, but then she starts to realise that he is not, because I'm pretty sure on the day when she gets married, on their wedding night, she ends up in A&E with an unexplained broken wrist, but she knows what's happened. And then he becomes worse and worse, so he starts to isolate her from her family and her friends and basically control every aspect of her life. But now she doesn't want to be the victim anymore, she wants to fight back. It sounds interesting actually. Again, that's why obviously... So it's a good thing that Blind Date with a Book gave me this one, because it does sound like something I would hopefully enjoy. Next one is a rather popular book and I'm pretty sure everybody has heard about this one, but that is Dalagat Dream Department Store by Mai Lee. I find the cover really fascinating, but this one is like a fantasy. Literally look at the cover, it's really pretty. It's got so many different things going on, but in this book it's essentially what it is. There's a department store that I think can give you any sort of dreams that you want, or something along those lines. It just sounds like one of those whimsical, beautiful, hopefully, fantasies, and it's the Korean #1 bestseller. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I have heard only good things about it. Like, I haven't heard anybody who didn't like this book. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy it, and I do enjoy more of a translated fiction too. But seriously, I love the cover. I do love it. And hopefully it's going to be my type of fantasy. My next book is actually a children's book, and again I bought it in a charity shop, and that is Gobelino the Witch's Cat by Ursula Moray Williams. I do on occasion enjoy like children's books, especially with cats, because they're always so wholesome, so lovely and so adorable, and this one just doesn't sound like anything different. I'm going to read you the blurb. Gobelino doesn't want to be a witch's cat. He wants to be an ordinary kitchen cat and sit by the fire, catch mice and watch the baby. So while his sister, Sutika, learns how to ride a broomstick and turn mice into toads, Gobelino goes in the search of a kind family to live with. But the trouble is, no one trusts him. Next one is a completely different genre, my favourite genre I would say. The Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. I kind of like this cover. I haven't heard great things about it, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to read you the blurb. My camera's moving somewhere. Okay, I'm going to read you the blurb. So, would you kill for a good story? Roach, bookseller, loner and true crime obsessive, is not interested in making friends. She has all the company she needs in her serial killer books, murder podcasts and her pet snail, Bleep. That is until Laura joins the bookshop. Smelling of roses and carrying a cute literary tote bag, she's everyone's favourite bookseller. But beneath the shiny veneer, Roach senses a darkness within Laura, the same darkness Roach possesses. And as Roach's curiosity blooms into morbid obsession, it becomes clear that she's prepared to infiltrate Laura's life at any cost. This sounds really good to me, so I hope I will enjoy this book because it's got books and murder and potentially sassy characters. Next one is The Lie Maker by Linwood Barclay, and I have read one book by this author before, which was Take Your Breath Away, which I gave 4 stars to. This concept also sounds really good actually. So in this book we follow the main character whose job is essentially just giving fake stories for people for like witness protection type of thing. So he creates these lives for these people. It sounds absolutely amazing, it sounds really good, but also this main character's dad gone missing I think years ago, and now he's trying to find out what happened, and there are some enemies that will stop at nothing to get revenge. It sounds really good. It sounds like not anything I've read before, and the chapters are really short, which always helps with stories like this. So I'm really excited about this one. Next one I don't remember anything about, but that is Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I have heard of this author though before. Just realised it. Never read anything by her. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, so good people have to do bad things. 4 women must solve a mystery with 3 suspects, 2 murders and 1 victim. 20 years after a baby is stolen from a stroller, a woman is murdered. The 2 crimes are somehow linked. A good bad girl might be the key to solving both mysteries, but can she and the other women involved find out what happened before it's too late? If they do, they might just discover the truth about the baby who disappeared, the mother who lost her, and the connections that bind them. Again, now that sounds really good to me, now that I've reminded myself what this book is about. And it looks like it's multiple perspectives as well, so hopefully it'll be a good one. Yet another crime thriller one. It is Lion and Lamb by James Patterson and Dwayne Swear. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I hope you can see the name. But this one obviously is by 2 different people, and we've got a gruesome murder, 2 sides, 1 truth. That's essentially all you need to know about this book. So we follow 2 different perspectives, and obviously there's been a murder, and the husband and the wife have 2 completely different stories, and we follow each of them to find out the truth for ourselves. It looks a little bit like mixed media almost, because I can see bits of interview, I can see bits of different like newspaper articles and whatnot, and the chapters are really short. I'm really excited about this book. I've nearly picked it up so many times. I think it'll be a very quick and fascinating read. So yeah. Then we've got Just Between Us by Adele Parks, and I don't remember anything about this book at all. So let's read what it's about. The entire nation is obsessed with the scandal of bigamist Kylie Gillingham's disappearance. Being married to 2 different men was a huge risk. But did she run away, or was she taken? And now, is she dead or alive? Both her husbands insist she was there everything until she vanished. But DC Clemens knows love is a shiver away from hate, and either can make people do the cruelest things. Only one person knew her secret. Did they want her to pay the ultimate price? Oh my goodness. This again sounds fascinating. And again, it happened. This book has been sat on my shelf since obviously May or April, and I forgot what it was about. So now, me having read the blurb, it sounds absolutely brilliant. It sounds fascinating about the 2 husbands and like who do you trust and whatnot. Sounds good. Sounds amazing. I'm trying to hurry up because my camera keeps overheating, and quite frankly I have got cramp in my legs, so I'm just trying to hurry up as soon as I can. Next one is The Institution by Helen Fields. They're locked up for your safety, now you're locked with them. How do you find a murderer in a prison full of killers? On a locked ward in the world's highest security prison hospital, a scream shatters the night. A nurse has been murdered and her daughter taken. And with only 5 days to find the girl, the clock is ticking for Dr. Connie Woolwine to find a killer hiding in plain sight. It sounds intriguing, and I think it will be fast-paced, hopefully. Honestly, it sounds really good. So, only 3 books left to talk about. So, next one is The Hike by Lucy Clark. I swear most of the covers now starting to look kind of samey to me. The perfect day for a hike, seeking the escape of a lifetime. 4 friends hike out into the beautiful Norwegian wild. Oh my god, it's set in Norway. I love Norway, I've been there. So I'm looking forward to being in the setting of Norway. Nothing between them and the mountain peak but forest, sea and sharp blue sky. The perfect place to disappear. But there's a darker side to the wilderness. A woman went missing here 1 year ago. Now the friends are hiking into the heart of the mystery, and waiting on the trail is someone who'd do anything to keep their secrets buried. Again, I'm intrigued, I'm hooked, I'm sold. I want to read this book like right now. I can't do it, but I want to. This one I'm pretty sure loads of people have heard about. This one is How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. This one follows a main character who is, she basically all her life, she thought she was gonna get killed, and she's right, she is killed by somebody, but she kept writing down her notes about everybody in her life and their potential motives, so that whoever is investigating her death would have those clues, like to see who actually murdered her. It sounds intriguing, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds really good, and I'm pretty sure her niece picks up the book and tries to solve the murder. So obviously it's like a cozy mystery rather than the well, I don't know where I was going with this, but anyway, it sounds intriguing and I am very much interested in this one. My next one I think is a sort of sci-fi, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this book before, but it sounds intriguing. Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis. Look at this cover, it's really pretty. But in this book we follow this obviously floating hotel which is in space. It's like this perfect place where everything's perfect, you get anything you want and everything you want, but there is the question of who's doing it, what's their purpose. Might be a little bit of a sinister motive there. It sounds intriguing and I haven't read anything like this before. So hopefully the day will come when I read this book and enjoy it. So there we go. Those were all of the 20 of the books that I bought between, well, not all of them, most of them, that I bought in the month of April and May. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry that I was reading most of the blurbs, but I just could not for the life of me remember them. But now I'm excited about all of the books again and I want to read them all like right now, genuinely. I won't and I can't. So I need to shut up about it and move on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!